Hey everyone, Pins here, and welcome to my first-ish video, first of 2020. And, yeah, it's been a while since I've done any uploading, and I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with this channel. But one of my biggest passions is and always will be art. So, I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to start, posting up videos of my artwork and trying to get you guys more of an insight on how I approach my character designs, creature designs, concepts, and all that fun stuff. Uh, I use Procreate on my iPad. For most of my digital art career, I've actually used a Intuos tablet or XP Pen tablet, and either Photoshop, Clip Studio, or Paint Tool Sci. But after a long dry spell of art, honestly, 2019 was one of my worst years for art. I went through a huge dry spell. And then I drew, well, the first picture you're about to see here. And then I just kind of got hooked. All the art was, like I said, done on Procreate. And here we go. This first picture is a character I've made ages ago named Hylan. A little gnome wizard who might have gotten a hold of a spell he probably shouldn't have a little too early. And it resulted in, the unfortunate loss of a couple limbs. But he got a new one, kind of. Yeah. A lot of my art that you're going to be seeing here is Dungeons and Dragons related, because along with my art, this is kind of a huge obsession I've been having. I've gotten way too involved in this game, and I love every second of it. It just gives me infinite amounts of fuel. One of these days I'm going to have to try to draw something that's not D&D related, but that can happen. As you can see here, I was trying to put him on a tile floor, but I decided, nah, put him on the ground. He's fine. This entire picture I was actually playing around with the symmetry tool. No, but we'll continue on. This one here, this one is one of my pride and joys. Once again, like Hyland, I drew her back in February, but now this one took me ages to draw, and it was so fun, and I love the outcome way too much. Like, the pose doesn't make sense. The mushrooms were so fun. Everything just kind of looks weird and amazing, and it just makes me so happy. Sorry, I might be gushing a little bit too much over this one. One of my favorite pieces for sure. But enough about that. This character I actually didn't even give a name. All I really had to go off of was I wanted to draw a mushroom lady. Oh, yeah, this one's a little fun. A while back, I designed a class for D&D, featuring a druid that instead of turning into a singular creature, had the ability to turn into swarms of creatures. Still working out the kinks, but maybe I'll have to post the class later on again for you. I do have a beta version of it up on the DMs Guild, but maybe I'll put that in the link below. So this one was really fun because what I did was I sketched out the entire baseline of the character, like what he actually looks like, and then over top of it I just drew in all the rats just kind of merging out of his body in some way, shape, or form. A bunch of dreads, just rats spilling out everywhere. This character was me trying to personify just a min-maxed character build. I mean, I've always been a believer that, yes, play for the role play. That is the most important job. But you don't have to make bad choices for your character just for the sake of doing that. You can make a very fleshed out, good character and still be able to roleplay them well. This character, for example, is a level of cleric, 4 levels of bard, and the rest going off in rogue. He's a one trick. He's actually multiple trick pony, but in combat, he's basically got sneak attack, and not even that much of a sneak attack. But aside from that, he's got every single skill on the list, and then expertise in almost everything else. He's a very broken character when it comes to skills, but when it comes to combat, he's probably pretty useless. Take it or leave it, but it was fun, and I just decided, you know what? This guy's pretty much just a Indiana Jones meets Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. He's cocky and egotistical and a bit of a jerk, but you know what? It's fun. This one was hilarious. A while back, one of my friends who owns the local comic shop in town wanted to run a little one-shot D&D game for Christmas. And I was racking my brain trying to figure out what I wanted to play, and then I think I came up with just the random idea of, what if I played a Dragonborn, but instead of creating, like, damage from his breath weapon, he actually can create peppermint, like frosty peppermint mist, and then he can use that mist in order to, like, form it into peppermint candy. And then we just came up with peppermint patties, and yeah, that ended up becoming his full-on name. By the end of that campaign, he learned the joy of mixing peppermint and chocolate, and then scared a chocolatier into taking him on as an apprentice so that he could learn that. Oh, and here's another one. He's not a Dragonborn, actually. He's a Tiefling. Tiefling of Tiamat, Dragon Sorcerer. Once again, I mean, he's the min-maxed or stereotypical really good sorcerer where he just gets really good with one of the better cantrips, but at the same time, he's designed to be, really story-based. He was born to the cult of the Dragon Queen, raised by them, and then escaped in order to see what he's missing in the world. He grew up really poorly, but that's all he knew, so he thought he was growing up okay. And now he's out in the world, he looks like a devil, and everyone will probably be scared of him and give him a real hard time, and he doesn't understand why, because he thinks he looks perfectly normal. And yes, I did take a little bit of inspiration from Melina's mouth from Mortal Kombat. I understand this is all a little quick and fast paced, but I had a lot of art to cram into this, and all these videos are 4 to 8 minutes in length based on the export from Procreate. So I had to downgrade them a little bit in order to fit them in. But going forward, we'll be doing a bunch more in-depth information. Speaking of which, this character. This one I actually came up with because of TJ Storm during one of his plays in Deborah Ann Wall's game a little bit ago. He actually played a samurai character, and there was this one scene where he actually took his hat off and used it as a shield. And I thought, what would be amazing is if we had a halfling fighter who uses a sword and a shield. I mean, that's all it is, but because he's a halfling, he's using that longsword two-handed technically just to be able to get some power behind it, and he wears his shield as a hat. So, mechanically speaking, he's just got a sword and shield in the hand, but once again, in the design or the character concept, he's just wearing his shield as a hat, and he's fighting like a samurai. This one, much like Hyland earlier in the video there, is a redesign of a character. Now, re-looking at the original character, I really liked the previous design, and now she's just kind of gotten an upgrade. Kind of like levels 1 versus 20 sort of feel. Nothing special, once again. Wood Elf Druid. Easy. But I wanted to go with more of like a Gothic Lolita sort of feel, but give her more of a natural druidic look. I don't know why I came up with this or how I came up with this idea in the first place, but I'm so glad I did, because this costume was just so pretty to work with. All the ruffles, the vines, trying to incorporate the foliage into the shawl, the flowers, and the anime girl hair drills. That mixed with those horns was a challenge, but came out real nice. I'm very proud with that. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to keep up this kind of quality, and I'm sure I can. But man, was this one interesting. The lighting effect, I think I could use a little bit more work on. I think I just kind of rushed that a little bit too much. Oh. This one took me some time. The sketch that you're seeing here is probably like the 5th or 6th one. Hey, kitty. My cat just came to visit. And I was having such a hard time, because originally all I wanted to do was I wanted to draw a Yantai, but instead of the typical pureblood one, I wanted to go for more of an abomination sort of feel. And yes, I did draw out every single scale, and it was taxing but fun and worth it. And it was very difficult, because all I was thinking was Yantai Rogue with a snake tail for legs. I mean, yeah, but it's very generic. If you don't go into an art piece with some kind of actual concept behind it, instead of just an uninspired, this is what I want to draw at the moment, sometimes it can be very difficult to finish off that conveyance. Like this one, in comparison to all the other pieces on this list, speaking of which, this is the last one of the video, he's actually pretty static. I might have to revisit this a little bit later when I, have a little bit more of an idea of what I wanted from it. But until that point, he actually did come out very nice. I do like it. And that's, yeah. And here's a little bit of a overview of all the guys. So, thank you all for watching this video. I know I'm not the best talker. Honestly, I probably should have used a script. But this is my first video. I hope I'm going to get a little bit better as I go on with it. But I'm really glad I'm starting to do this, even if it's for me or if you guys want to see this or not. I think I need to start doing this, because it's just, I don't know what I need. But it's been fun, and I'm hoping I can keep doing this, because I love art and I love designing characters. If you have any ideas or things that you'd like to see, or some weird concepts that you have, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe, hit the bell, yada yada, fun things. See you later.